And we are live and direct. We are back for match week 2 of this season's English Premier League. And this is the preview and prediction with your boy, Dominic Rich. All right. So, good day, good day, good day, one and all. Guys, I spent all evening prepping for this stream. Could you believe that? I had a very, very, very long day. Woke up since about 4:30 a.m. Went to work, worked really hard, and I came home and I've been, prepping this live stream and, hanging out with my son. But, it's part of life, you know what I'm saying? It's what I signed up for. But look, enough with, sad stories. And we're going to get into this week's Premier League prediction. So, guys, first and foremost, what we're going to do, we're going to review what happened last week. Meaning, we're just going to take a look at the results and just to get a refresher before we get into this week. You know what I mean? So last week, let's just go back to the first match of the season where Arsenal defeated Crystal Palace 2-0. Chelsea did beat Everton on the road 1-0, while Spurs smashed Southampton 4-1, and that was my exact prediction for that match. Newcastle beat New Boys Nottingham Forest 2-0, while Leeds got the better of Wolves 2-1. Bournemouth back in the Premier League defeated Aston Villa 2-0. I think that was a shock result in my opinion. Fulham did shock Liverpool with a 2-2 draw to help themselves to a point, and that's actually their fifth point in the last 3 games against the Reds. City started the season brightly with Erling Haaland scoring a brace and the defending champions off with 3 points with a 2-0 win over West Ham United, while Brighton and Hove Albion went to the theater of nightmares and picked up a positive result, their first win on the road against Manchester United, while Leicester and Brentford played to a 2-2 draw. So those were the results, all 10 results of the opening match week. And I hope we have another exciting and entertaining week like we did for the first and opening match week of the season. So, guys, the table is irrelevant right now. All the leaderboards and all of that are irrelevant. It's just one match. But, we're not going to get into that right about now. What we're going to get into are the fixtures that's coming up this week. And we are going to start things off with the Aston Villa versus Everton game. And before I do this, I like to take the time to say hello to everybody in the stream. Appreciate you guys tuning in to yet another one. If you're watching the replay, thank you very much as well. You know what I mean? I put a lot of effort into these, and I know you guys give your time to come out and watch them. So, it's a two-way street, you know what I mean? And I do appreciate it. So let me see what's going on in the chat right about now. Big up to the boy Jordan Hyman, Judgmental Deity. Big win. Thanks to everybody who's watching right now. And if you're watching a replay, appreciate it as well. So, guys, I got all my predictions. Again, I'm not gonna attempt to be super super long tonight, but I I get into these discussions that I go down some rabbit holes from time to time, man. So for Aston Villa versus Everton, the last game for these teams: Bournemouth 2, Aston Villa 0, Everton 0, Chelsea 1. So in terms of the last meeting between the two sides, the home team, Aston Villa, picked up a 1-0 win on the road to Everton. They actually did a league double last season against Everton, and they have not lost any of their last 6 Premier League matches against the Toffees. So the last time Everton picked up a win against Aston Villa was back in 2016 when they did the double in the 15-16 season. So it's been a while. It's really been a while since Everton got the better of Aston Villa. The managers are actually 2 Premier League legends. I remember playing FIFA in the earlier days and using both Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard. You know what I mean? I was fascinated by both players, and they are now managers, and I really like that. So this will be the first time they're actually coming up against each other as managers, and it promises to be a very, very enthralling contest. Against Everton, Steven Gerrard has a one match and he picked up a win. Against Aston Villa for coach Frank Lampard, 6 matches, 3 losses, 1 draw, and 2 wins. And I reckon some of those were with Derby County during his days in the championship. So in terms of the head-to-head between the two teams, 54 all-time matches, 22 wins for Villa, 19 draws, and 13 wins for the Evertonians. And guys, what I'm going to give you before I get into my prediction is, a squad update. I'm going to let you guys know what's going on in terms of the transfer window, if there's any new transfers and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? And there's some rumors I'm going to let you in on as well. And if you have anything to add, please, feel free to share in the chat. So in terms of transfer updates for both teams, for Aston Villa, Douglas Luiz is actually on the verge of signing a new 3-year deal, while for Ross Barkley, he's been linked with uh, Aston Villa after a previous loan stint. And if you guys could remember, when Ross Barkley was on loan at Aston Villa, that, they had a really decent season. Beat Liverpool 7-2, where Ross Barkley, a former Evertonian, did score in that game as well. So for Everton, they're looking for a striker. They've been linked with Serhu Girassi, and I've also been seeing them linked with Che Adams of Southampton. They also signed a young, very, very talented midfielder from Lille, and his name is Amadou Onana, and they paid a whopping £33 million for him, so he better be good. And they also scooped up, Everton also scooped up Connor Cody from Wolves, and that I think is a very, very weird deal, because we all know, if you don't know, Connor Cody is a Liverpool fan. He is a Scouser, and he's a Liverpool fan, but Everton came calling, and I guess he said, "Hey, man, if the Reds ain't gonna call me, I'll go over to the blue side." So, in terms of player availability and injuries here for Aston Villa, Courtney Howes is the only player listed as injured, while Tyrone Mings would be 50-50 for the game, where he was injured for the first game. I didn't even realize he was. And he had Diego Carlos along with Ezri Konza at the back. I don't know if Tyrone Mings is going to, regain his place in the starting 11. Most likely will, but he's too error prone in my opinion, man. But the fact that Aston Villa did lose the opening game, we might just see Tyrone Mings slot right back in. For Everton, they're dealing with a lot of injuries. Andres Townsend will be out for a prolonged period. Ben Godfrey would be out until after the World Cup. You remember he got injured in the Chelsea game. There was a mistake. He tried to make amends, and he actually suffered a really bad foot injury. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is out until September, while Andre Gomes, Tom Davies, and Yerry Mina are all out. So Everton, they're dealing with a lot of injuries at the beginning of the season. They did last year as well. And they started off with a loss, even though they didn't play too badly. So that could be an Achilles heel for Frank Lampard and his boys to get the season kicking. But they have brought in reinforcements. James Stakowski, you saw Connor Cody, who I think should slot right into the team. And they've been Amadou Onana. I think these guys could get a look in right away. You know what I mean? There's also Allen, who didn't start the last game. And maybe there could be a few transfer movements, in or out of the club as the upcoming weeks and the transfer window is about to close at the end of the month. So, guys, that's it for the player availability. In terms of players to watch for this game, I'm going to go with Aston Villa's Diego Carlos. And the reason why I'm going to choose him is because they did concede 2 goals in the first game, and I think they got to close up shop if they want to get a positive result. So, I'm going to keep an eye on the new man, the Brazilian from Sevilla. For Everton, I'm going to go with their new man, Connor Cody. The same goes for Everton. They made a mistake. Ducorey led to a penalty, and they need to be tight at the back as well. Even though they weren't too bad, they need to be tighter and more disciplined, and Connor Cody could definitely bring that leadership qualities to this team. Guys, in terms of my prediction for this one, I'm going to actually go with a 2-1 win for Aston Villa. I'm not feeling Everton right now. They look, okay in the first game, but they just can't find a way to score. Think they'll get a goal, but Aston Villa would bounce back from their opening match they lost with a 2-1 victory. A lot of firepower up top. Coutinho, Ings, you have the likes of Ollie Watkins and Leon Bailey. These guys would have to come off. You know what I mean? Jacob Ramsey comes to mind as well. These guys would have to be firing if Steven Gerrard is to get the better of Frank Lampard here. But I'm going for Aston Villa 2 and Everton 1. Everton to start off with back-to-back losses. Aston Villa to bounce back from their opening match they lost. So I think that's a fair prediction because Aston Villa is a team that's going to come at you. They're going to play very attacking football. While for Everton, they will be on the more conservative end of things, seeing that, they're playing without a recognized striker. Shout outs to Anthony Gordon as well. He's going to be a player. You got to keep an eye on Dwight McNeil as well. These players could put their hands up, Demari Gray and co. But I think they'll struggle in this game. So 2-1 to Villa. So in terms of the next matches for both teams, for Aston Villa, their next match would be against Crystal Palace on the road, and then they do have an EFL Cup match against Bolton. I do have to take a look at the EFL Carabao Cup draw and react to that as well. So I will be finding out as I do this who the teams play, which is a spoiler in my opinion, but it's all good, man. I'll check it out when I do have some time. So in terms of Everton and their next game, look, Everton better hope and pray that they don't get off to back-to-back losses because that'll be a really bad way to start the season. Their next match will be a home match against New Boys Nottingham Forest. So that's my prediction. Let me know yours in the chat. So big up to everybody. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat here. Judgmental Deity said Everton could be in trouble early if they lose to Aston Villa. I think you mean Aston Villa here. Big up to Ibrahim. Awesome BLE in the house. Jordan Hyman, how are you? Appreciate you tuning in. Guys, make sure you smash the thumbs up button for the live stream. Doesn't cost a single thing. Just show your support by smashing the like button as well if you're watching the replay. So, guys, we are going to keep it moving, man. Let's keep it moving. And the next game that we are going to get into is the game between Southampton and Leeds United. Guys, remember, I can't cover everything. I'm only one guy, but I'm going to try my best to actually, give my thoughts on most things that I'm pretty much aware of. So let's, delve into this one. I don't know why I had a couple YouTube tabs open. Those take up a lot of bandwidth, so I had to do a bit of housekeeping right there. So let's get into the next game. So in terms of Southampton versus Leeds, Southampton suffered a heavy defeat on opening day, 4-1 to Tottenham Hotspur. That's not a great way to start the season at all. And for Leeds, on the other end, they picked up a really good 2-1 victory against Wolverhampton Wanderers. What happened the last time these two teams played against each other, you may ask? So for the home team, Southampton, last season they went unbeaten against Leeds, 1-1 on the road and 1-0 at home, to make amends for the previous season where Leeds themselves did do the double over the Saints. So not a bad, record against Leeds United, and they'll be hoping to keep it going in just that fashion. So all-time results, 28 total Premier League games, 6 wins for Southampton, 14 wins for Leeds, and 8 games ending in a draw. This will be the second ever meeting between Jesse Marsh and Ralph Hasenhuttl. Both managers have worked for Red Bull franchises, so they have that in common, and I'm pretty sure they know each other very, very well. This will be Marsh's second game against Southampton, where he drew the first one. And against Leeds, 4 games for Hasenhuttl, 1 win, 1 draw, and 2 losses. He needs to turn that form around and definitely do it fast. So let's just get into the squad and some transfer updates here for Southampton. Nathan Teller has made a move, a season-long move to Burnley. to work with Vincent Company. All the best to him. And Southampton are looking to actually sign Callum Hudson-Odoi on loan. Good luck to them on getting his signature. And if Hudson-Odoi gets a move to Southampton, he will be definitely guaranteed a lot of game time there. So that's it for Southampton and the transfer updates. If you have any more to add, please let me know. For Leeds, Helder Costa joined Al Etihad in the Saudi Arabian League on loan, and Leeds have been linked with the Senegalese forward winger Ismail Assar of Watford. They also signed goalkeeper Robles, and they've actually been linked with former Manchester United midfielder Juan Mata. So that's an interesting one, to be honest, though. So in terms of player availability for Southampton, Valentino Livramento will be out for the foreseeable future. It's a long-term injury, so he'll be on my injury updates every single week until he's fit. Theo Walcott is also on the treatment table alongside Brazilian defender Lianco. In terms of Leeds United, they do have some injury problems of their own, where Stuart Dallas is out for a long period. Luke Ayling, Junior Firpo are also out, while Liam Cooper and Newman Lewis Sinistera, who they brought in from Feyenoord, is now fit to play. Let's see if we're going to see him run out. Guys, in terms of players to watch for Southampton, I'm going to pick on their entire defense. Kyle Walker-Peters, guys like Mohamed Salisu, Jan Bednarek, and Jan Valery, who actually started the first game where they copped 4 goals. Expect some kind of tweaking by Ralph Hasenhuttl, because they got to stop the bleeding somehow, man. Southampton does concede a lot of goals. They're such a mercurial team, and I actually have Southampton relegated this season. So let's see if they could actually prove me wrong and come back with some kind of result in this game. For Leeds, I'm gonna go with a man who has a new lease of life, and that's Patrick Bamford. Injured for the most of last season, but we saw how lively he was in the opening game there. So let's see if he could actually bang some in for Leeds, who's gonna need as many goals as they can. I think they did struggle with goal scoring last season as well, and that's definitely a direct result of Patrick Bamford's injury. Guys, in terms of prediction for this one, look, Leeds, I think they did well enough to get that win against Wolves. I think it was a very, very even game, to say, against Wolves, and they were rather fortunate to come out on the winning end. As for Southampton, they started the game against Tottenham very well, opening the scoring, but Tottenham, replied with 4 goals. I think this time around, Leeds would be an easier opposition to deal with. First home game of the season here for the Saints. And I think these two teams are going to play to a 1-1 draw. Southampton, they play a very open brand of football, very positive type of football. And James Ward-Prowse is definitely the man you need to keep on the ball, dead ball specialist as well. While we know for Leeds, they have had problems with defending in the past. I think under Jesse Marsh, they will be a bit tighter, but some of that Bielsa problems will still linger with this Leeds United team until Jesse Marsh, does manage a team for maybe another season or so, and have his players and his ideology embedded into the players in the team. So look, 1-1 in my opinion. Guys, let me know your prediction in the chat. We'll definitely appreciate that. That'll be a great result for Southampton, and not a bad result for Leeds United. So in terms of the next games, Southampton, who are currently at the bottom of the table, by the way, guys, and they'll be hoping to climb out from number 20th. And their next game will be a tricky opposition, Leicester City. For Leeds, a team that, the Premier League does need because of their history and everything, and the size of the club, their next game will be a big one against Chelsea, man. That one is going to be, one to look forward to. So 1-1, in my opinion, Leeds Southampton. So, guys, what are you saying in the chat? Big up to everybody right about now. Appreciate you guys tuning into yet another one. Brawl Barry, how are you doing? Abel in the house. Marcel in the house. Everybody tuning in right now. Matthew Walcott in the house. Then coming out of Barbados, man. What's up, brother from Vincy? Yeah, man. It's your boy Dom. Back. New season. You know what I'm saying? Doing big things and just coming back with the consistency, man. That's, you got to be consistent, and even though it's challenging, you got to keep bringing the heat. It's not as rewarding as it should be, but you can't always be in it for the reward. You know what I'm saying? You have to till, and then eventually you would reap the benefits. Okay, so let's get back to business, man. Let's not go down too many rabbit holes, and we're gonna move on to the next game. And guys, that next game is a huge one, and I'm gonna hit you with a big one very, very early, and that's the Gunners Arsenal versus the Foxes Leicester City. So for Arsenal, they opened the season with a brilliant win against Crystal Palace, very, very convincing. But for Leicester City, it was very disappointing for their fans as they actually give up a 2-goal lead, and they haven't been making any signings. Okay, so the Leicester fans need a lift here, and a win against Arsenal could definitely provide that. So, in terms of the last game, I mentioned Arsenal a 2-0 away victory against Crystal Palace in that London derby, and for Leicester, a 2-2 draw against Brentford FC. Not a great result. They should have won that game, in my opinion. Guys, in terms of the last meeting between Leicester and Arsenal, these two teams always gives you a good game. Look, the last three Premier League matches between Leicester and Arsenal have ended in wins for the Gunners. Two 2-0 wins and a 3-1 win at the King Power. And I could remember the last time Leicester did defeat Arsenal, a 1-0 win at the Emirates, courtesy of, I think that was Jamie Vardy. But Leicester just, was very, very defensive for the whole game and got Arsenal on the counter. But overall, the Gunners have been faring very, very well against the Foxes, only losing once in their last 6 games in all competition. Guys, in terms of the head-to-head, 32 matches, only 5 wins for Leicester, 8 draws, and 19 victories for the Gunners. Very, very, very impressive. Mikel Arteta versus Brendan Rodgers here. 6 meetings between the two managers, 4 wins for Arteta, 1 draw, and a loss. So Brendan Rodgers definitely need to turn his form, against Arsenal around, where he's only picked up 5 wins in 18 games, and he has to do better. And that's as managers of both Liverpool and Leicester, I'm pretty sure. So, look, in terms of the transfer updates, guys, let's just go over to the squads and update you on some movement that's been going on for both teams. So, for Arsenal, Pablo Mari, the Spaniard, was loaned to Italian club Monza, who complained about their television deal being about 33 million per season, where Nottingham Forest gets about 163 million. Hence the reason why they're making all those signings. And he said, you can't really compete with the Premier League, So, shout out to Monza. Albert Sambi Lukanga, who only came in last season. I think he came in from Anderlecht, if I'm not mistaken. He's been linked to the move to AC Milan. He's out of favor these days, and he only came on for a couple minutes in the opening game. And Lucas Torreira did join Galatasaray on a permanent deal. So all the best to the Uruguayan, who was out on loan for the last 2 seasons as well. So, I think he was brought in by Unai Emery, if I'm not mistaken, after his brilliant World Cup stint with Uruguay, and it didn't last. Definitely didn't last. So I might be wrong about the manager who brought him in, though, but it doesn't really matter. For Leicester City, in terms of their transfer dealings, Yannick Vestergaard have rejected an approach from Fulham, so he's still a Leicester player. Let's see if he'll remain one until the transfer window closes. Chelsea continue their chase for Wesley Fofana, where Leicester have already rejected 2 massive bids, and Chelsea could increase that bid to make Wesley Fofana, the most expensive center back of all time. And man, Chelsea, that's all I'm going to say right about now. Leicester did make a signing, picking up Alex Smithies, former Cardiff City goalkeeper, on a free transfer. As you guys know, Danny Ward is now the number one, where Daniel Iverson is, listed there, and the Dane, while Kasper Schmeichel transferred to OGC Nice in the French league. Also, in terms of the transfer dealings, guys, Hamza Traoré, the Bengali Grenadian, he have joined Watford on loan. And in terms of Leicester, there's guys like Yuri Tillemans, who's been linked with a move, out of the club as well. Madison's been in the rumor mill, and there's still a lot of business to be done in terms of Leicester City there. So, guys, in terms of players to watch here for both teams going into this game, I'm gonna actually, I'm giving you the player to watch a little bit too early, and I just realized, like, from doing my research, I actually, I probably got distracted, but I did not note the injuries for both teams. But I have it right at hand there, so I'm gonna give it to you. Not much injuries here. Where for Arsenal, new boy Fabio Vieira is still not 100% fit, so I don't know if you're gonna see him in the upcoming fixture. While Emil Smith Rowe, the very promising youngster, is actually recovering from an injury as well and could feature in this game. So that's the injury update for the Gunners. In terms of Leicester City, they don't have a lot of players on the treatment table, where Ricardo Pereira will remain out until around November, just before the World Cup. Ryan Bertrand continues to be absent. He should be back sometime in September if all goes well. And Harvey Barnes is still out until the back end of August. So that's the update in terms of injuries. You see, I'm being honest, you know what I mean? I could have just picked up my phone and just smoothly, let you guys know who's injured from both teams. But I let you know I did not write that down, which is, I jumped the gun a little bit there. But players to watch going into this game, guys, look out for Arsenal's new frontman, Gabriel Jesus, fresh off the winning titles galore at Manchester City, and he looked to take that experience over to Arsenal. Had a good opening game, but unlucky not to score. For Leicester, James Maddison. I always say, if James Maddison plays well for Leicester, they do well. I know Jamie Vardy is their talisman, but they do have multiple talisman, and I think, once you have Madison sprint the ball, the dead balls and everything, Leicester would get a good result. So in terms of my prediction for this game, guys, I am going to go for a high scoring match, actually, and I'm going to go for a 3-2 thriller in favor of Arsenal. I think Aaron Ramsdale and Danny Ward are both going to be very, very busy on the day. Both defenses are going to be tested, and we are gonna get entertained as football fans. 3-2, because Arsenal, they do go out there and play a very attractive style of football. And for Leicester, come on, we know how deadly Jamie Vardy is, and the backup brigade of guys like Daka and Iheanacho could actually come in and be very, very, very dangerous here. Let's see if Leicester could actually improve their set piece record, where they were just horrible against set pieces last season. And let's see if Arsenal continue with their winning ways, as I'm predicting right about now. Look, they were very brilliant in defense. Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes look good. I've been seeing Kieran Tierney linked to the move to Man City. Don't know how true that is or if that's going to happen. But expect a good match between these two teams, Arsenal and Leicester City. Also look out for Keenan Dewsbury Hall, guys like Bukayo Saka. It's going to be a good game, man. It's going to be a good game. Let's see how it transpires here. But I'm going to go for a 3-2 win for Arsenal. However it ends up, I think it's going to end up in a win for the Gunners. Guys, in terms of the next game for both these teams, Arsenal next game will be against Bournemouth on the road. and then they have a match against Fulham. As for Leicester City, who I think needs to do some more business in the transfer window, a drawn opening day, I think they're going to lose this one. Their next match will be against Southampton, as I mentioned just now. So 3-2 to the Gunners, guys. Let me know your prediction in the chat. Do appreciate everybody in here right about now. Let's talk. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Don't forget to smash up the thumbs up button. Big up to Danny, a referee in the house. Nice to see you, bro. Nice to see you. Big up to everybody who chose to tune in and actually commenting on the stream right now. Ethan Murray, Collins Hopkinson in the house. Very lame Pichu. Big up to you. Elias Abs is going for a 2-1 win for Arsenal. Very lame Pichu is going for a 2-0 win for Arsenal. And let me see what Elias Abs is saying. Big up, Dom. Watching you at the airport, Orlando, before my 23-hour flight. Where are you going, bro? 23 hours. Are you going to Australia? Wow. Wow, 23 hours. Big up to Bryant Danaje Vanterpool Bryant. 3-1 to Leeds. Late comment there. I'm getting to it late. And yeah, appreciate you dropping that prediction there anyway. So Ethan Murray saying 3-0 to Arsenal. Guys, we are going to keep it moving though. I think I need to give this a little zoom to make that a little bigger so you guys could, did it even improve? Maybe not. But we're going to move on to the next game, and the next match is the game between Brighton and Hove Albion and Newcastle United. Both teams picked up impressive victories on opening day, and we'll look to continue picking up points. This one is a very, very difficult one to predict, I must say. But guess what? I have to give you guys my verdict as I've been doing today. So let's talk. So in terms of their last game, 2-1 win for Brighton against Manchester United. You guys could have another laugh at that. While for Newcastle, an impressive opening day win against Nottingham Forest, 2-0. So in terms of the last meeting between Brighton and Newcastle, guys, interestingly, Brighton, since promoted to the Premier League, have only lost once to Newcastle United, and that's last season, a 2-1 loss. And that's because of the brilliant job that, Eddie Howe did with that Newcastle team. But Brighton were very, very good. They have been very good against Newcastle, where they do have 4 wins along with 5 draws in their Premier League history, which is a very, very young and youthful, I should say, Premier League history. 17-18 was actually the first time they came to the league. Newcastle with 1 win there and 5 draws. So quality record there for Brighton against Newcastle. And I think it holds a lot of weight. And especially since they lost the last game, they will look to bounce back there. Let's see how this game goes. So in terms of the managers, guys, Graham Potter coming up against Eddie Howe. This will be the 4th meeting between the 2 managers, where Howe has 2 wins and a loss. In terms of Eddie Howe's record against Brighton, 17 games, 10 wins, 3 losses, and 4 draws. Really, really good record. While for Potter, he does have a good record against Newcastle. 2 wins, 3 draws, and a loss. Guys, in terms of the transfer business done by both teams, and I'm hitting you with a few rumors and all. I'm trying to give you guys as much information as possible. For Brighton and Hove Albion, Shane Duffy actually went on loan to Fulham, and that's actually the only update I have for you right now from Brighton. In terms of Newcastle, they actually are looking to sign very talented Portuguese striker from Benfica, Gonçalo Ramos, who started the Europa League playoffs very, very well. And they're also looking at Lucas Paqueta. I've been hearing his name being whispered for some time when it comes to Newcastle. They've also been linked with Senegalese forward Bamba Dieng. And in terms of any other transfers, they've been a few whispers. I've seen Ross Barkley being linked as well, and a few other players. I expect Newcastle to maybe make one or two more signings before the transfer window closes, and maybe let go 1 or 2 players as well. Look, an announcement here for this game: Newcastle will be donning a special one-off kit for this game simply because of the color clash, the kit clashes between Brighton and Newcastle for this game. And when it comes to kit clashes, guys, it usually has to do with the colorblind viewers that's actually watching the games and not you and I, because you and I could differentiate from the various kits that the teams are wearing, but the colorblind needs special colors to, to actually, if you understand what I'm saying, like one color may pop up as another color for the colorblind. So you can't have a kit clash and then the colorblind is actually seeing teams that look alike running up and down on the field. So that's just a little tidbit for you right there. Guys, in terms of injuries and player availabilities here, for Brighton, they only have one player out right now, and that's Jakob Moda, who will be out until 2023, sadly. For Newcastle, John Joe Shelby would continue to be out for a long-term period, while Javier Manquillo remain out, along with Jamal Lewis and Jamal Lascelles. The two Jamals are actually out right now. And the Swede Emil Kraft is actually injured at the moment as well. Guys, in terms of players to watch for both teams, for Brighton and Hove Albion, I'm gonna go with the Belgian Leandro Trossard. I do think Leandro Trossard will eventually end up at a top six club or a Champions League club within the next 2 years. If he does have a good World Cup with Belgium, expect him to be gone in maybe January. You see what I'm saying? But this kid Trossard is a beast, man. So keep an eye on Leandro Trossard. For Newcastle, a player you might not really, expect me to pick, and that's Joel Linton. Oh man, or Joe Linton, however you want to say his name. He's been one of the most improved players in the Premier League, man. He's a striker by trade, but he's been transformed to a midfielder, an attacking midfielder who could also play a deep line creative role. And he's been very, very, very good. I think he was Newcastle's player of the season last year, and he's just hit the ground running again this season, man. Could have scored a spectacular goal on opening day. So keep an eye on Joel Linton. Guys, in terms of my prediction for this one, look, I know Brighton was very, very impressive on opening day, but I'm going to have to go with Newcastle United here to pick up an impressive 3-1 win. I know Brighton is very good defensively, but I'm going to go for Newcastle to run right here and pick up a convincing victory. Any victory. But I'm going for Newcastle United. Brighton, I don't think the Amex is the fortress it should be. They do pick up some good wins there, but I think they're a better away team than they are at home, as we've seen last season at least. So I'm going for the very impressive Newcastle United under Eddie Howe to continue impressing guys like Bruno Guimaraes, Callum Wilson fit again. You have guys Joe Willock, you know what I mean? Did I mention Bruno Guimaraes? Even if I mention him, I could mention him twice. That's how good he's been. Joe Linton as well. So I'm not gonna go and drop all the names, but look, Newcastle United, I think, will do big things this season. Nick Pope in goal as well would be a key addition to this outfit. So I'm gonna keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it moving. And with that being said, in terms of who these teams play next, for Brighton and Hove Albion, I did predict them to lose against United, and they did win the game. So doesn't matter what I think, Brighton would continue to be Brighton. Very, very annoying. You know what I'm saying? And love to pull off upsets. The next game will be against West Ham United. On paper, it looks like a very challenging start to the season for Brighton, but who knows, man? They might just pick up all 9 points. So, in terms of Newcastle United and their next match will be against Manchester City, Sunday, August the 21st, and that will be at St. James's Park. And prepare for a good game. I think that one is not a very, very predictable one. Like, we might say, oh, yeah, it's Manchester City, where right now there's a 70% win probability for City, only a 12% win probability for Newcastle. But we know that could change. So 3-1 win for Newcastle over Brighton. Guys, let me know your prediction in the chat. Appreciate it. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button for the live stream. Back with another one. And it's pace today. I'm not looking to go for 2 hours at all. I'm going to look to respect y'all time. The people who don't have the time. And I don't have the time either. You know what I'm saying? I got some dishes upstairs to wash. And if I don't, my wife's going to be really pissed off at me. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to have a pissed off wife. Just want to, those of you guys who have wives and girlfriend knows what I'm talking about. You don't want that, you know what I mean? So I gotta be done good time so I could wash those dishes. Okay. So Ethan Murray saying 2-0 to Newcastle. Elias 1-0 or 2-1 to Newcastle. Antoine Dawkins coming in with a late Arsenal 3-2 prediction, like myself. Oh, you're going to Nairobi, Kenya to see my mom, who I haven't seen since 2019. Okay, all right. All the best on your trip. Enjoy. And what else we got here in terms of prediction? Guys, if you have any predictions, don't be afraid to drop it in the chat. We got to talk about Liverpool still. We got to talk about City. We got to talk about United, Chelsea, Tottenham. You know what I mean? Big game this weekend against, with Chelsea and Tottenham. So, guys, with that being said, we are going to keep it moving. I think I'm doing very, very well this week until I get to a point where I'm like, whoa, I just went down a serious rabbit hole there. Like, what am I doing? All right. So we got to move on to the next game. And that game is the match between Wolves and Fulham. This one's going to be a difficult one to predict, to be completely honest. You know what I mean? You can't write off Fulham. Even though a lot of people would look at Fulham and be like, yeah, they're a yo-yo team. They go up and go, come up and go down. But look at what they did on opening day. I don't mean to rub it into the Liverpool fans' face or anything, but it's all facts. You see what I'm saying? It's all facts. So Wolves against Fulham. Ooh. So, guys, in terms of the last game, a 2-1 win for Leeds over Wolves. Bad start to Wolverhampton Wanderers. And for Fulham, a great start. They could have picked up 3 points against the Reds, but they managed to walk away with 1. And that's a big point. Listen, Fulham, a team who's always relegation threatened every season. That point could be so instrumental to their survival, guys. Look, you just don't know. You just don't know. That's why every single point is important. You see, every single point is important. Just remember that, man. Every moment matters this season. A very, very simple moment could actually determine whether you stay up or go down. So, in terms of the last meeting between Wolves and Fulham, Wolves have actually won the last 3 Premier League meetings by a goal to nil. The last time Fulham actually defeated Wolves were when both teams were in the championship. Okay, so yeah, just see where that is going. Fulham have not performed very, very well against Wolves over the last 10 matches, dating back to 2015, where they only have a solitary 2-0 win. All right. So the form has to improve against Wolves. So, look, in terms of the managers, Bruno Lage and Marco Silva, both are Portuguese managers in the league here. And this will be the first time that they're facing up against each other. For Marco Silva, he does have 3 matches against Wolves, a win, a draw, and a loss. This will be the first time Bruno Lage is facing any Fulham team. So, look, both teams have already made transfers and all of that. But wait, before we get into the transfers, all-time records. Let me hit you with the all-time records. 12 all-time games, 6 wins for Wolves, 2 wins for Fulham, and 4 draws. So in terms of the transfer dealings, the update, I'm not going to get into the old transfers that we already spoke about on match day 1. You could go back and rewatch that entire live stream, the whole 2 hours of it, if you want a rundown of all the business that was done up until that point. But we're going to talk about the transfers that have been done since then. And in terms of these 2 teams for Wolves, Connor Cody left the club and joined Everton. And the last time I checked, wasn't Connor Cody the captain of the team? Wasn't he the captain? That captain, wasn't he the captain? I might be wrong, but the captain just jumped ship. If he was indeed the captain. I think he was, though. But they also made a big signing, another Portuguese man coming into the team, and that's Gonçalo Guedes. He signed from Valencia for £27 million. And there's also been Ruben Neves, another Portuguese star, linked with a move away from the club. I've been seeing him linked with Liverpool, been linked with Man City in the past. He's been linked with Manchester United. And I think we might actually see him end up at Manchester United. They're screaming out for a quality defensive midfielder, man. Really, really screaming out. And let's see if that one would happen. Let's see if Ruben Neves would desert. Let's see if he will actually jump ship from Wolverhampton Wanderers as well. So for Fulham, they also made a new signing in Issa Diop from West Ham United, 18 million euros. I think that's a good deal for a player that's out of favor and doesn't get a lot of match time at West Ham. They've also been linked with Bamba Dieng and a big one. This one is a surprise. Fulham have been linked with a move to former Chelsea and Arsenal winger, former Brazilian international Willian. Willian could be coming back to the Premier League. Do you guys believe this? Do you guys even believe this? So there's also been some more transfer rumors where Justin Kluivert, the Dutchman, has been linked with a move from Roma, and Danish defender Victor Nelson has been linked as well, along with Jason Denayer, who could go to the club on a free, and Attila Shalai, the Hungarian, highly rated Hungarian centre back who does play for, I think, Fenerbahce these days, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's I think Fenerbahce. Yannick Vestergaard also rejected a move to Fulham, so definitely they're in the business for centre half. If you look at their roster right now and you look at their defensive options, you have Tosin Adabarayo, Terence Congolo, Shane Duffy, who was brought in as well, Tim Ream. I could see why and Issa Diop. I could see why they're actually looking for center half reinforcements there, because they're looking kind of light back there. And you know what they say? Titles are won on defenses, but also you survive the drop if you have a good defense. So in terms of player availability and injuries here, guys, for Wolves, Chiquinho would be out for a prolonged period of time, while Raul Jimenez remains out, and Adama Traore is getting back to full fitness. He's 50-50 right now. And Nelson Semedo, Portuguese international, is also getting close to fitness, along with another Portuguese international, Joao Moutinho. They need these guys. They need especially Moutinho fit again. For Fulham, former Liverpool man Harry Wilson would be absent, and Nathaniel Chalobah is once fit again. Joe Bryan, who did not play much the last time Fulham was in the league, and remember, Joe Bryan was the man who helped Fulham get promoted the last time they were in the Premier League, and he didn't get much game time. Also, sad news for Fulham fans. The Israeli international Manor Solomon, in his opening game on loan from Shakhtar, picked up a horrible injury and will be out for a prolonged period of time. So don't expect to see Manor Solomon anytime soon. Guys, players to watch for me. For Wolves, Pedro Neto, man. He looked very, very lively in the opening game, very skillful. I saw some highlights of some skills he did against Leeds, and nasty. He's been linked to the move to Arsenal. I've seen, AFTV talk about him. And for Fulham, I got to go with Alexander Mitrovic. If Fulham are to survive, they have to involve Mitrovic. He's going to bully defenders like he bullied Trent Alexander-Arnold, and expect to see more of that. Very, very cheeky. Look at what he did with gaining that penalty, drawing in Virgil van Dijk, baiting him, and he caught the bait. And expect Mitrovic to do big things with the form he's been in the championship. So, guys, in terms of my prediction for this one, I'm going to go for a high scoring 2-2 draw. I know Wolves don't score a lot of goals, but they're coming up against Fulham, a team that's not very, very strong defensively. And I think it's going to be a very open game of football. So Fulham's going to take the game to you. You know what I'm saying? Which means they're going to leave themselves vulnerable as well. So, look, and Wolves, Wolves are a team that takes some time to get their act going. So 2-2 draw, or any draw, 0-0, 1-1, but I'm going to go for 2-2. You don't want to be too boring and say nil-nil, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw between these two sides that were recently in the championship since up until 2018, and Fulham just coming back from the championship as well. So, in terms of the next matches for these two sides, guys, make sure you let me know your predictions in the chat. Let's touch on Wolverhampton Wanderers. Their next game will be against Spurs, so that'll be a very, very, very tough one. And for the London outfit Fulham, their next game will be a London derby against Brentford. That would be a mini London derby against Brentford. And guys, when you hear I lower my voice because I have my boy Liam sleeping right over there on the makeshift bed I have for him. So I don't want to be too loud and wake him up. You know what I'm saying? I want to do as much of this live stream without Liam sleeping on my lap today. So that's it for that game. 2-2 draw, in my opinion. Guys, talk to me. Talk to me in the chat. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Big up to everybody in here, guys. Make sure you smash the thumbs up button for the stream. And Zevoy is asking, if do you open the panel? Not yet, not yet, not yet. I'm planning to do somewhat of an open panel this season, but I just don't want to open a panel like that. I want to actually vet the people that's gonna come on, because you have some weirdos out there that's gonna just come on and do some weird stuff. Okay, not gonna get into the details, but you understand. So Philip Bidwell is saying, if they perform the way they did against my team Liverpool, it should be a 2-0 win to Fulham. Look, Fulham could have lost that game as well, so we can't get too carried away with that result. Good on them to pick up the 2-2 draw, but Liverpool could have won. You see what I'm saying? Got the opportunities did present themselves. So 2-2 draw, in my opinion, and we are gonna keep it moving, guys. We're gonna move into the sixth game, and we've only been live for 52 minutes. I'm doing well. I'm doing pretty well, and that next game is a big one, and that's Brentford coming up against Manchester United, the most successful team in the Premier League era, but they're not playing like that team. They're a shadow of that great team under Sir Alex Ferguson. And it's just very, very sad and embarrassing times for United fans, where for Brentford, in their last game, they did pick up a come from behind 2-2 draw against Leicester City. While for Manchester United, it was an embarrassing opening day home loss to Brighton and Hove Albion, a team who only gained Premier League status in the 17-18 season. So quite embarrassing if you ask me, man. Very, very embarrassing. Okay. I'm gonna give you guys a moment, just a little moment to just laugh. Laugh at Manchester United. Just have a moment and just laugh. Are you done? Are you done? So guys, I spoke too early. Come. I spoke too early. Come here. I spoke too early. Mr. Man woke up. He slept for an hour by himself and he woke up. Not bad at all. Not bad. But he'll go right back. So let's get into this game. Brentford versus Manchester United. Brentford is in only their second season in the Premier League, where they did get promoted from the championship last season. So let us talk, man. Let us talk. In terms of last season, Manchester United did defeat Brentford twice. They did the league double, a 3-1 win on the road and a 3-0 win at home. And look, that's their Premier League record. 2 matches, 2 wins for Manchester United. Look, Man United are very unpredictable. Anything could happen. Thomas Frank coming up against Eric Ten Hag for the first time. And in Thomas Frank's both games against United, of course, we know he lost those matches. So, look, in terms of the transfer updates, let's take a look at the transfer updates. Let's take a look at the squads. Let's take a look. All right. So for Brentford, they've signed Danish phenom. I want to say he's a phenom. He's very, very good. Mikkel Damsgaard for 15 million euros from Sampdoria. And I was wondering if anyone was going to actually pick up Mikkel Damsgaard. And I think one time I mentioned that Brentford should actually sign him, seeing that Brentford, heavy with the Danish team. I think they have Danish owners, if I'm not mistaken. And they did bring in Mikkel Damsgaard, who I think is a very, very good addition. Look, I did pick Brentford to get relegated this season. So maybe a signing like Damsgaard could actually change the course of that happening. You know what I mean? But who am I? Who am I to say who's going to go down and who won't? You know what I'm saying? But last season, I did pick Norwich to go down, and it did. So I got a little credibility there, at least. But yeah, Dom, everybody picked Norwich to go down, man. Come on. You're bragging about picking Norwich to go down, right? So that was the only update I saw in terms of Brentford and any transfer dealings. But for Manchester United, there's been a lot of chirping going on. Ethan Laird, the young right back, did join QPR on loan. And Man United has been linked with Cody Gakpo of PSV Eindhoven. Very, very tall, lanky, prolific forward, Dutchman there. But I beg him, I'm pleading to you, Cody, don't go. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it. But with Ten Hag being Dutch, definitely could happen though. Definitely could see that move happening. Man United are also close to signing Frenchman Adrien Rabiot from Juventus, and that deal is definitely look like it's gonna happen. But Rabiot is a player that I think could step his game up a little bit more and have not really fulfilled his potential. But you go from Pogba to Rabiot. Let's see how that one work out, man. I just love it. I love it. Man United were also linked with Marko Nautovic, and that one was actually laughable, but it was true. And that one has since been quashed. It won't happen. And guys, in terms of Man United and the transfer dealings this summer, more entertainment to follow. Okay? Just want to put it out there. Look, in terms of player availability here for Brentford, Christopher Aya continues to be absent, along with Sergi Canos, who's close to full fitness, and Ethan Pinnock will all be out. So those three players, Aya, Pinnock, and Canos, which, is not good in terms of Brentford and their defensive options there. For Man United, young left back Brandon Williams would be out, along with Mason Greenwood, who remains suspended by the club. And I heard he's suspended, but he's still getting wages. Wow. What a life, though. What a life. But should learn his lesson. And I don't know, man. For some people, probably saying they hope his career is over. But I hope the young man bounce back and, overcome this whole BS that he's going through. But he brought that on his own self. Just want to put that out there and make that clear. Look, another thing I noticed is that Victor Lindelof and Eric Bailly were not listed on the casualty list. But those players were in the stands last season, just in plain clothes. Maybe they're undercover. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But these players could be leaving the club. I've been seeing Eric Bailly linked with a move out the club. With Lindelof, I don't know too much about, but let's keep an eye on that. What's the deal? What's the deal? Phil Jones is still a Manchester United player. What's the deal with all of that, man? So, as I said, guys, more entertainment to follow when it comes to United. Look, for this game, players to watch. For Brentford, Ivan Toney, I think he was a menace against Leicester City. Could have scored more, but did manage to score the goal on a comeback trail there. And he remains a definite threat in the Premier League here. So for Man United, Cristiano Ronaldo. Let us see if Eric Ten Hag is actually going to start Ronaldo this time around, or if he's going to bench him and say he's not match fit yet. Let's see what's going to happen. But after the opening match they lost, some changes got to be made. Is he going to go in with Terrell Malacia from the start? Are we going to see Aaron Wan-Bissaka instead of Dallo? Are we going to see Rafa Varane alongside Harry Maguire? Or is he going to continue with Lisandro Martinez? Or who knows? Let's see. Let's see what's going to happen, man. is right now, I think, is very unpredictable. Bruno Fernandes, these guys got to step their game up. Christian Eriksen, you could see some quality in the midfield there. But when you have Fred and McTominay playing on the Solskjaer and under Ragnick, and problems are prevalent, why continue playing them? You see what I'm saying? And that's my gripe with Ten Hag. Like, what are you doing? You see what I'm saying? Like, what? You can't do that. But maybe he, I don't know, man. I don't. It's just laughable. It's just laughable. Marcus Rashford got to step his game up. Sancho got to step his game up. Maybe Ilanga got to be brought in, or try Amad Diallo, who, you know what I mean, looked really good at Atalanta when I saw him play, in the Champions League a few seasons ago there. So look, for this game, guys, unfortunately, I'm going to have to predict a 1-1 draw. United starting the season off in the worst way, a loss and a draw. Brentford at home. And from what I saw on the opening day, I don't see them beating Brentford. Brentford pose too much of a threat not to score at least a goal in this game and give United some trouble. 1-1. 1-1. And I think their defense is decent enough. Their midfield is hard working enough. And the options to come off the bench as well. They're gonna give Man United a lot of trouble here. 1-1 draw. Last week I picked United to win their game. They didn't. This week I'm going on merit. 1-1. And I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Let me know your thoughts in the chat, guys. In terms of the next game for these teams, for Brentford, who picked up a brilliant come from behind draw against Leicester on opening day, their next game will be against Fulham in a London derby there. And for the Red Devils, Manchester United, who does not look that devilish, their next match will be against Liverpool on August the 21st. Imagine that. Imagine that. Woo! I'm gonna be doing a watch along for that one, guys. So if you check the channel, you could just click notify. You don't want to miss that one. You don't want to miss that watch along at all. I hope nothing pops up between now and then, and I have to cancel the watch along. Let me just knock on wood. I want to do a watch along to that game because I want to see United get slapped up. I'm letting the Man City fan in me come out, man. I'm supposed to be neutral here. I'm still neutral, but I still had to take jabs at Manchester United. Why not? Why not? So, look, big up to everybody in the stream right about now. Let me try to put this kid down again. Let me see if I'm successful at doing so and get back to action. All right. Okay, we're back. We're back. So 1-1 draw, guys. 1-1 draw. So big up to everybody in the stream right about now. Okay, that was not successful. He got back up again. And he laid down. He laid down again. Big up to the boy Michael Olopido coming in with a 2-1 win for Brentford. I hope that happens. Blah. 2-1 win for Brentford as well. Judgmental. Can't wait to see Maguire score a brace of own goals. God damn, you guys are good. You guys are good. Philip Bidwell, Ivan Tony will bully Man United's defense. And Bryant here is saying Ronaldo walks out and quits if Brentford beats United. Look, keep an eye on the whole Ronaldo situation again, and let's see if he actually stays on, as part of the club this season. Big up to Ilias Abs in the airport right now, saying a 1-1 draw in this game. Similar prediction here by my boy Ilias. So, guys, we're doing well. We're definitely doing well. And with that being said, let me take a drink of water because we're going down the home stretch right now. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing very, very well in today's live stream. 1 hour, 4 minutes. And we only got a couple games left. We got the Forest, West Ham, We got the Chelsea Tottenham, the Liverpool Crystal Palace, and the City Bournemouth game. So only 4 matches left, and we're doing well. Let me take a sip of water. We're gonna knock this out the park. We're definitely gonna knock this out the park. You know what I'm saying? And big up to Football Life for saying, bro, go to sleep. I'll sleep later. I'm good. Kevin Morris, Man United is going to lose 1-0. All right. So let us talk. Let us move into the next game. And that game will be between Nottingham Forest and West Ham. I'm going to save 3 big matches for last. The City, Bournemouth, the Liverpool Crystal Palace, and the massive game between Chelsea and Spurs. Let's do this. All right, so let's go. So the next game, guys, Nottingham Forest, New Boys against West Ham United. For Forest, they're coming off of a 2-0 loss against Newcastle, and West Ham are also coming off of a 2-0 loss against Manchester City. So both teams, did not pick up any points on opening day, and will be looking to do so this time around. We know at least one team will get 3 points. Both teams might actually end up getting a point apiece. So let's see how this one ends up. But before I let you guys know my prediction, let's just go through and preview this match as well. So Nottingham Forest versus West Ham United. What happened the last time these two teams met each other? It's been a while. The last time they met was 8 years ago in the third round of the FA Cup back in 2014, where Forest defeated West Ham 5-0. That's a spanking. But before that, West Ham had a stretch of 4 wins on the bounce, and three of those were actually in the championship. That was when West Ham was a championship team. But in their last 10 games dating back to 1999, Forest only got 2 wins against West Ham United. So historically, they have not been a very, very good team against West Ham. You see their all-time Premier League record there. Only 1 win in 8 games, 3 draws, and 4 wins for West Ham United. Guys, in terms of the managers here, these two guys, Steve Cooper and David Moyes, a Welshman and a Scotsman, they're meeting each other for the first time, and Moyes has never defeated Nottingham Forest throughout his career. 3 matches, and those matches came when he was in charge of Preston North End back in the 2000-2001 season. 2 draws and a loss. So, look, in terms of the transfer business done by both teams, to be honest, guys, I actually don't know what Nottingham Forest are trying to achieve this season by making so many signings. Seriously. Usually teams come up to the Premier League and they keep their core players and they'll strengthen. They're strengthening areas where they feel they need strengthening, where they feel they need depth, where they feel they need some more quality. But for Forest, they're just signing. They're just signing every fucking body here. They've been linked with so many players and they're making so many signings. And I'm like, is this going to be all a waste? Seriously. And a lot of the signings, they got some decent signings, but they also got a lot of championship type signings, in my opinion. And for the life of me, I don't know why I predicted Forest to stay up. I've been having second thoughts. I've been having mixed feelings about Forest. Seriously. They're too all over the place. I predicted them to come in 13 to be my dark horse team this season. And I'm having instant regrets, man. Seriously, man. I'm having regrets. I'm not gonna go through the players they signed, but in terms of the latest transfer updates, Nottingham Forest are looking to sign Moses Simon from Nantes, the Nigerian international. They're also looking at Emerson Palmieri, Chelsea left back, Ruslan Malinovsky, the Ukrainian international who plays for Atalanta, is being linked. They did make a signing, a new one. Remo Freuler signed from Atalanta for 9 million euros, and they also put in a 20 million bid for Watford's Emmanuel Dennis. And they also sent out an offer for Hosem Aouar. This is all rumors, you know what I'm saying? This is all things that have been chirping. They made a bid for a Spanish left winger by the name of Alex Moreno from Betis, and he rejected the offer. So I don't know, man. I really don't know. Forest, you're doing the most. Let's see if it's actually going to pay off. They got a lot of money to play with, man. They've already spent a lot, and they're looking to spend even more. As for West Ham, Croatian international Nikola Vlasic joins Torino in the Italian Serie A on loan, while West Ham actually are putting in a bid for very versatile German centre back. He could play all across the back line, Tilokera. And they've also been rumors there's been a bid for Croatian international left back Borna Sosa, and that deal is said to be close. While Issa Diop joined Fulham, and West Ham are also in for the highly rated Hungarian centre back Attila Shalai. So West Ham are looking to do some more business in the transfer window, and let's see what happens in the upcoming days and weeks to come. So in terms of player availability, guys, for Nottingham Forest, the only player listed as injured is new boy Omar Richards, who came in from Bayern Munich. I still don't understand the thinking behind Omar Richards. Maybe the salary was a lot bigger than he had at Bayern Munich, and he's like, hey man, I'm gonna be home. I'm English. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna get a chance to play in the Premier League. Salary's better. Heck yeah. Even though I might be playing championship football again next season, heck yeah, bring it on. You see what I'm saying? For West Ham, new man Naif Aguerd, Moroccan international, he's still out injured. Angelo Agbana, former Italian international there, is still out injured. Craig Dawson is also doubtful, and goalkeeper Lucas Fabianski, who did have to go off early in the game against City, is also doubtful for this one. Guys, look, players to watch in terms of this match. Nottingham Forest, I'm going to go for the man on very, very large wages, Jesse Lingard. Let's actually go and click on his picture right now. Jesse Lingard, you got to step your game up. Jesse Lingard actually has links to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where if you scour the internet, you'll see that his grandparents, I think, or one of his grandparents was actually from St. Vincent. So Jesse, bro, don't let me down. Don't let me down. Do your thing. Do your thing. So, in terms of West Ham, I'm going to go for Jamaican international Mikel Antonio. He was rather quiet against Manchester City, and I think this is a game for him to spread his wings with the pressure that he has on his backs right now, on his back from Gianluca Scamacca, the new signing that West Ham made there from the Serie A. So Antonio got to step his game up, or he's going to be on the bench for him. You know, it'd be kind of ungrateful, but still, you know what I mean? If you're not producing the goods, like, you got to come off the bench. 5 substitutes available anyway, so there's a lot of opportunities to be had for players this season. Guys, in terms of my prediction for this one, I'm going to have to, I'm left without any choice but to go for a 3-1 win for West Ham, bouncing back from their loss to Manchester City, and Nottingham Forest to start off the season in the worst way. Back-to-back losses. Look, I think West Ham are just going to be a little bit too much for Forest, who are still trying to find their feet in the Premier League. A lot of new players in the squad, still trying to gel. Steve Cooper still trying to figure things out. And I think David Moyes is probably just rubbing his hands. And West Ham, who does take a very, very direct approach, are going to go for the kill. Also, guys, keep an eye on the whole Said Ben Rama situation. He could be actually leaving the club as well. Maxwell Carney, new signing. Let's see how well he's integrated from his move from Burnley. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 win for West Ham. I don't need to explain too much. We all know how good West Ham are. And just unfortunate, they just met a immovable object, Manchester City, on opening day. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? No shame in losing to City, but we know how good West Ham are. So 3-1 win. Quality bounce back and picking up their first 3 points of the season. Guys, let me know your thoughts on this match. Let me know your thoughts on both Forest and West Ham United. I'm having regrets about Forest. I don't know what I was thinking though. So for West Ham United, the next match is actually a Europa Conference League playoff against a team by the name of Viborg. Okay, and the next Premier League game will be against Brighton. So that is something to actually factor in for match day 3. Teams actually taking part in European preliminary competitions there, like West Ham United. Guys, for Nottingham Forest, does it get easier for them? Their next game will be against Everton. Yeah, a little bit easier. Everton are in a very tricky position right about now. Tricky territory. That was the word I was actually looking for. So not a bad time to play Everton at all. So that's my thoughts on this game, guys. Let me know yours in the chat. We are going to move on. But before we do, let's take a look at some comments. So Hot Chili saying, I hope Antonio scores. Judgment Deity, wildcard guess. Lingard turns up for Forest and gets a surprise 2-2 draw. Sierra Webb. West Ham will trash Forest 3-1. Michael Olapido, nice t-shirt and matching face cap, bro. Thanks, man. Thank you. Thank you. Come. Come. You wake up again? Why are you waking up? Why are you waking up so much? Come on. Come on. I should have just kept you. I tried my luck, but you woke up again. So, guys, we still got 3 more games to talk about. We're going to look to land the plane in today's episode. An hour 16 minutes. We're doing very well. I want to get these down to about an hour, though. So when the transfer window is actually closed, expect these to be a bit shorter. So, guys, the next game that we're actually going to get into is the Man City versus Bournemouth game. This is not the biggest game, but we're talking about, a monstrosity of a team here, Manchester City. 2-time defending Premier League champion. And when I say 2-time, I mean back-to-back wins. This could be the three-peat year for City, but I'm not really talking up the three-peat too much. I don't want to embarrass myself whatsoever, and that's why I went with Liverpool actually going on to win the title this season. You know what I'm saying? Because I just don't think Man City will do the three-peat. I just don't think so. You know what I'm saying? And I know some people may say, "Hey, man, why? Why not? You got Haaland." Come on, man. The three-peat is I don't know. I really don't know. I just want a team to just prove me wrong, man. That's what it is. But look, Man City versus Bournemouth here. 2-0 win for City on opening day against West Ham United. And Bournemouth, a 2-0 win against Aston Villa. Both teams very, very impressive. The head-to-head, the last time these two teams played, paired up, coupled up, head-to-head, Man City have played Bournemouth 10 times in the Premier League. 10. And they have won every single game. That's an indication, or maybe it's not an indication of where this game will go or how this game would end up, right? But it's been a rather one-sided clash between these two teams. You know, the history that speaks for itself, and it's a whopping 30 goals to 5 in favor of Manchester City. It's ridiculous. It's simply ridiculous. You know, when you look at the two managers here, Scott Parker against Man City, 4 matches, 4 losses. Pep against Bournemouth, 9 games, 9 wins against Scott Parker, 4 matches, 4 wins. It's just immaculateness here. You know, it's a clinic here for Manchester City. Ridiculous. It's simply ridiculous. Do I need to still do this preview? Yeah, I gotta give Bournemouth their respect. You know what I mean? I gotta show them respect and do this preview though. But it's a rather one-sided. It's been a rather one-sided matchup between these two teams. Some narrow wins for City, some convincing ones as well. And in terms of the biggest win for City over Bournemouth, guys, you got to go for a 4-0 win. A couple 4-0 wins in there, dating all the way back to 2016. So, pretty one-sided stuff here. So, guys, let's get into the players here and let's get into some transfer updates. So, in terms of Man City and the transfer updates, City just signed Sergio Gomez, a 21-year-old Spanish left back from Anderlecht. The fee, I think, was about upwards of 15 million euros. And there's, been rumors that saying City might actually keep this player at the club and not send him out on loan. But look, in my opinion, we are signing these left backs and we are not trusting the left backs. You see what I'm saying? Look at Angelino, signed, not trusted. We had Zinchenko playing left back, don't really trust him that much. You have Cancelo who could play there, so I think Cancelo would, play most of the games. We also have a young left back by the name of Wilson Esbrand, and we're not using him. So who are you kidding, man? You know what I'm saying? Send the kid back out on loan and let him continue to develop instead of having him sit on the bench. City's also been linked with a move for Jasko Vardiel, where Bild, a German outfit, reported that an 80 million euro bid was actually rejected by RB Leipzig, and that's hard to believe. That is hard to believe. 80 million rejected for Jasko Vardio? Nah, that's hard to believe. But Build, they're a very reputable organization in from what I understand. So City's also been linked with Rafael Guerrero from Borussia Dortmund. He's 28 years old these days, very versatile, could play in the midfield, wing back, left back. I don't want him. To be honest, I really don't. He's a goal threat and all, but I don't know about him, man. We could do better than Rafa Guerrero, in my opinion. City's also been linked with Lucas Paqueta, and that is in the event that Bernardo Silva is sold to Barcelona. And there's, of course, the Bernardo Silva saga that's been going on. Barcelona looking to sign every single body this season. It's simply ridiculous, man. It's simply ridiculous. Somebody need to stop Barcelona, and they need to do it quick because the amount of signings that they're making, and then a lot of players been linked with moves out of the club as well. They haven't been able to register their new signings, so I don't see the point of still linking Bernardo Silva and whatever. Where's the money coming from? I could guarantee you, if this was Manchester City doing this type of business, you would have never ever heard the end of it. Never. You would have heard everybody talking about, you know, FFP laws and all that stuff. But because it's Barcelona, they could get away with it, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I see. I see how you guys are. I see. In terms of Bournemouth, they just signed former Barcelona. Talk about Barcelona. Speak of the devil. Former Barcelona goalkeeper Neto on a free. And they signed Marcos Senesi, an Argentine centre back from Feyenoord, for 15 million euros. So, in terms of Manchester City and their injury list right about now, it's only Emerick Laporte out injured. And for AFC Bournemouth, they do have David Brooks, very talented Welshman. He's out. Joseph Rothwell is also out. And Ryan Fredericks is on the road to recovery. He's always injured these days. And he recently joined from West Ham United on a free. So, guys, in terms of my prediction for this one, I'm left with no choice but to go for a whopping 4-0 victory for Manchester City. And to be honest, I didn't even look at the recent history between these two teams and saw that that was the best margin of victory. But it could get very, very ugly here. Even the Bournemouth started off very, very well by picking up a 2-0 victory there over Aston Villa. They look very good. I think Dominic Solanke is a player that we got to keep an eye on. And yeah, in terms of players to watch, I didn't give you guys players to watch. I did go with Dominic Solanke, my namesake. He did look good in the opening game, even though he didn't score. And if there's going to be a player to threaten City backline, it is going to be him. And you also have to look for definitely the threat of Kiefer Moore. Let's just scroll down and you see exactly what I'm talking about. Kiefer Moore, the Welsh international, very, very deadly from dead ball situations. And that's testament to the height of the player, man. So they do have some really neat players in the team. Philip Billing is a tall unit as well. Marcus Tavernier, came in and, he's going to look to help Bournemouth stay up in the league. I am actually predicting Bournemouth to get relegated, but they could look to prove me wrong. But they look good. Zamora, he looked good on the opening day. So, look, man, I'm not going to say anything could happen. I know Man City's going to go on to win this game, but Bournemouth won't want to just lay down and get beaten. I hope I don't have to eat my words. Don't clip me. Don't come back and say, yeah, damn, you said that Bournemouth can't get a win. What is this result here? You see what I'm saying? But nah, guys, City are just too powerful for Bournemouth, in my opinion, man. Nathan Ake coming up against his old team. Erling Haaland is just out for blood. I just hope Pep does not rotate too much in this game. But I think we may see the likes of Calvin Phillips even get a run out in this game, man. And maybe a player like Jack Grealish. Who knows if Pep's going to start him. But if he does start this game, this could be a game that he could actually cast his spell over and maybe pick up a couple goals or a couple assists in this game. You gotta take advantage of these opportunities, especially when you do have the stronghold over a certain team. But look, the team is so stacked up. Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden, Mahrez. Expect Mahrez to come back into the fray. Are we going to see Julian Alvarez get a start? But look, the player most excited for this season, the players, I should say, Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland. The link-up play between these two players are going to be, exquisite and just delectable to watch this season. Feast on it, man. Feast on it. So 4-0 win for Manchester City. Hard luck to Bournemouth and Scott Park and Bournemouth here, but I don't expect them to get anything from this game. So with that being said, I'm not gonna say super long here on this match, but back-to-back wins to start the city off for defending champions Man City. I think they'll go up to 6 points. And with City going up to 6 points, it means that teams that are looking to compete this season, a Liverpool, Tottenham, a Chelsea, an Arsenal, they can't afford to drop points because every point counts, okay? And you can't allow Man City to build up any type of momentum because then it'll be 10 games, 10 wins, or 10 games unbeaten. You know what I'm saying? And once Man City go on that kind of run, they're very, very, very hard to catch. So for City, after the game against Bournemouth, they will play Newcastle United. So we're not going to go too further ahead, and we are going to keep it moving. In terms of Bournemouth, their next match is against Arsenal at home. So look, not the two easiest games, but they proved to pick up some points against Aston Villa, where I'd never expected. So let's see if Bournemouth got anything up their sleeves for their next two matches against teams that are looking very, very good this season in terms of Man City and Arsenal. So that's my thoughts on that one, guys. Let me know yours in the chat. We'll definitely appreciate it. So, guys, if you haven't yet liked the video, make sure you do so. Come on. Smash it up, man. I don't even know how many likes we got on the video so far because I'm not actually monitoring the stream. But, smash up the thumbs up button, guys. So we have Danaje saying Man City has that oil money. But we're not even flexing our muscle like that, though. You know what I mean? We're doing smart business. You know what I'm saying? So we're not Barcelona in the transfer window right now. Sierra Webb, Man City have won all of their 10 Premier League matches against Bournemouth, the best 100% winning ratio by a team against another Premier League history. That's a fun fact for you right there. So I'm not going to read out any more of those because that's why I have not included that in my segment this season, because I don't want to draw things out and be doing too much reading at all. Okay? I want to give myself too much work to do this season at all. It's already a lot of work. So we're going to move on to the next game. And guys, that game is the one between Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur. This is one of the biggest games this weekend, if not the biggest, to be honest. Gonna keep it real. And look, can't miss this game for nothing, man. This game will be played on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make sure I just get the correct date for this one. And yeah, I think this one is on Sunday. This one is definite. Yeah, this one is the last game on Sunday, and there's not a game playing at that time in the Premier League, so that slot is open, and it's open there for a reason for Chelsea and Tottenham. That's a London derby, and these are two teams that will be fighting for the Premier League, of course. I don't think either team are Premier League contenders, to be honest. But with Tottenham, they've looked good this season. And for Chelsea, who knows what they could do, man? You know what I mean? Who knows? I don't think they're going to win the title, but you never know, man. You just never know. Right, guys? You never know. You got to give them the benefit of the doubt. So they didn't look too good at the match they won, but they still managed to pick up 3 points. So in terms of their last game here, for Chelsea, they picked up a narrow 1-0 away victory to Arsenal. And for Spurs, a whopping 4-1 home win over Southampton. In terms of the last meeting between the two sides, look, for home team Chelsea, they have been winning their last 5 matches in all competitions against Spurs. And they've been doing so without conceding goals. This is absolutely ridiculous. I wasn't even aware that this record was so one-sided, this recent record, where Spurs have only picked up a solitary 6-5 win on penalties in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup back in 2020. Like, wow, this is very, very one-sided. But I think Antonio Conte is going to look to change that, though, where his record against Tuchel is 3 losses in 3 games. Wow. And against his former team, Chelsea, 5 matches, 1 win, 1 draw, and 3 losses. Thomas Tuchel against Spurs, 7 games, 7 wins. Wow. Wow. Could somebody say wow? Let me get a couple wows in the comment section, though. So in 60 matches, 7 wins for Spurs, 33 wins for Chelsea, and there's been 20 draws. Very, very one-sided here in favor of the Blues in this London derby here. So in terms of some transfer updates here for both teams, let's just get into the squads and talk a bit here. So for Chelsea, Timothy Werner have gone back to RB Leipzig. And I have to just talk about this a second here. I've mentioned many times that Timo Werner is a goddamn flop. He's a flop. One of the biggest Premier League flops you could ever you could do all your research, and Timo Werner is going to come out on top of the list. Up towards the top of the pile. And there's some overzealous Chelsea fans who want to argue with me on Twitter and in the comment section and in the live streams and telling me about how Timo Werner is an asset. How is he an asset? How is he an asset? Please explain to me. When the amount of you're a striker, you are a striker, or you could play out wide, and the amount of games you play compared to your production is way, way off. And you want to argue for a player like Timo Werner? 50 million spent, sold for 20 million. He's a flop. He's a loss. Chelsea incurred a loss. I know they're going through the whole owner change and all, but Timo Werner was a flop. Why do you think he got sold? All right, I'm done with Werner. But anyways, he's going back to RB Leipzig, where he's probably going to bang him in for fun all season. Another player leaving Chelsea, Malang Sarr. Another loan stint, and this time to Monaco. I think there might be an option to buy in there. And for Chelsea, they've been chasing Wesley Fofana without any luck so far, and they'll have to keep upping that price. And, you know, they got to splash the cash. They've also been looking at Italian centre-back Cesare Casade. They've been in pursuit of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang as well. Frankie de Jong, these are the latest players Chelsea been linked with. And players that could be leaving the club, could see Ross Barkley leave, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Hakim Ziyech and also Emerson Palmieri could leave the club. A player that's going out on loan once again is Ethan Ampadu. God damn, just let him go, man. Loan, 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 loan. Let him go and just give him an opportunity at Chelsea. He could play center half. Give him a try. You see what I'm saying? And he's going to Empoli on loan. God damn, man. I'm getting pissed off talking about Chelsea. Chelsea fans think I hate Chelsea because Man City lost to Chelsea in the Champions League final. Of course I hate Chelsea for that. But I don't hate Chelsea. I just hate them for the Champions League loss. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Because we should have won that freaking Champions League title. But nah, we're going to lose to Chelsea. Okay. All right. Now they got to throw it in my face every single time. It's okay. But look, let's talk a bit about Spurs and the transfer business that they have done the latest. They signed Destiny Odogi, promising left back from Udinese. I don't understand why they're signing so many left backs. I just want to put that out there. I really don't. Maybe Reguilon is lead. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't. I really don't. They've also been linked with a move from by a move for not from Nicolo Zaniolo from Roma, and there's been a bid rejected. Tanguy Ndombele and Giovanni Lo Celso, they've been in the rumor mill lately. They could be leaving the club. And a player that I think could also be leaving the club is Jafet Tanganga and also Harry Winks. Is Harry Winks still a Spurs player? Is he? Look to the roster. Yeah, he is. He is, but he could be leaving though. Definitely could be leaving. So let's see what other business Spurs do in the transfer window, whether they bring in or they let players go out on loan or permanently. So, in terms of player availability and injuries here for Chelsea, the squad is listed as fit. I don't see any, casualties. There might be a few players with niggles and so on and so forth, but nothing listed on my source. As for Spurs, the only player out right now is Oliver Skip. So both teams are very, very fit right now at the start of the season. And this one, promises to be a very, very mouth-watering fixture. And I'm so looking forward to this game, man. Guys, you don't know how much I'm looking forward to this game. This is going to be a good one, man. This is going to be a good one. And the players to watch here for me, Mason Mount for Chelsea. I think he got to step his game up. He's been way too inconsistent lately. Him along with Kai Havertz, especially when they come up against more quality oppositions. These guys got to step their game up. And for Spurs, Harry Kane. Spurs scored 4 goals on opening day. Kane didn't score a single goal. So expect him to want to get on the score sheet in this game, especially against a quality opposition like Chelsea. Spurs, as you guys saw from the record, the last 10 games, only a solitary win, and that came via penalties. So in regulation time, they have not beaten Chelsea across the last 10 games. Could that change? Could that change? What's going to be my prediction for this game? Guys, look, I'm going to go for a left field prediction here. Left field. I'm going for a Spurs win, 2-1. I know it might be a bit controversial based on the facts that were just laid out, but this is a new season. And look, I think Spurs, with the players that they recruited, they're looking good. They're looking good, and I was not convinced with Chelsea on match day one. I think they got a lucky penalty that Jorginho put away. But apart from that, I don't think they were very, very good in the game. So look for Spurs to exploit that, where Thomas Tuchel, I think, still does not know his best 11. And let's see if that would continue to haunt the Blues there. So 3-1, 2-1 for Spurs, pardon me, 2-1 for Spurs. And I'm sticking to my prediction confidently, though. But I am going to, I'm definitely looking forward to the battles in this game. Kalidou Koulibaly and Thiago Silva, if fit enough to play against the likes of Son, Harry Kane, and Kulusevski, guys. Keep an eye on these battles. Are we going to see Mark Cucurella from the start or Ben Chilwell? I have a feeling it's gonna be Cucurella though. You know what I'm saying? Thomas Tuchel like to chop and change way, way too much, man. You know what I'm saying? So for Spurs, I think they're very, very, very threatening going forward, and the midfield look very assured with the likes of Højbjerg and Bissouma and the likes of Bentancur in there these days. Spurs are looking good. Spurs are looking good. Even Eric Dyer, he's looking good these days. So 2-1 to Tottenham over Chelsea. Don't let me down, Spurs. Don't make me look bad. Okay? Anyways, let's keep it moving in terms of who these teams play next. For Spurs, the next game will be against Wolves. And for the Blues, Chelsea, the upcoming match will be against Leeds, a massive, massive fixture against Leeds United there. So that'll do it for that one. And guys, we do have one more match to go. And before we do, let's take a look at the chat, see what you guys are actually saying. Big up to Omari, who's saying 3-2 to Spurs. 1-1 says BLE. What else we got here, man? What do you think about Rashford being scouted by PSG? I don't know, man. Rashford is not the same guy these days. I don't know. Spurs with a 4-2 victory. Quality predictions here, man. You guys, quality predictions. God damn. Guys, say something in the chat if you haven't yet done so. Don't be shy. And don't forget to smash the thumbs up button on our 41 minutes. Guys, let's land the plane on tonight's live stream. All right. So we're doing very, very well. A lot better than we did in the previous one. And as we progress throughout the season, expect the length of the streams to reduce. Okay, we want it to be digestible for the new people, and I don't want it to be too heavy for the for the faithfuls. I know some of you guys want me to be here all night, but guys, come on, I have to start managing my time a lot better here. So the final game for today's preview is the big game between Liverpool and Crystal Palace. All right, I have a nice little package for this game. I hope you guys actually enjoy it. All right, so in terms of their last game, Liverpool did not start the season off too brightly with a 2-2 draw against FC Fulham, where Jurgen Klopp came out and made one of the most outlandish excuses and said the pitch was very, very dry when there was a lot of sprinklers on during the match, before the match, after the game. I don't get it. I really don't get Klopp with these excuses. Look, Crystal Palace didn't start well either. They suffered a 2-0 loss to the hands of Arsenal and will be looking to bounce back. So they will be a dangerous team to play come Monday, where I will be doing a watch along for that game, guys. I'm advertising my watch along, so make sure you come and you tune in. So, look, unfortunately for Crystal Palace, though, just like City versus Bournemouth, this is a very, very, very one-sided fixture where the last 10 meetings between Liverpool and Crystal Palace have ended in all wins for Liverpool, including a recent 7-0 drubbing. Okay? So, should I continue? Should I continue, guys, with this preview? Yeah, out of respect for Vieira and Crystal Palace, I'll continue. I ain't gonna do him like that, but you get the point here. You get the point. The last time the two teams met, a 3-1 win on the road for Liverpool, and prior to that, a 3-0 victory at Anfield. And 10 wins, as I mentioned, in the last 10 Premier League games. In 26 all-time matches, there's been 5 wins for Palace, 3 draws, and 18 wins for Liverpool. If you want to know the last time Palace actually picked up a win against Liverpool, you got to go back to the 2016-17 season where Palace did pick up a 2-1 victory at Anfield. And that was always, talked about by commentators and pundits and, football analysts. That was the last time Liverpool had lost the game at home, but that record has, of course, already, been kicked to the curb. But, Crystal Palace used to do a lot better against Liverpool, let's say between that 16-17 season and let's say between 14-15 as well. They did see some success against the Reds. So could they replicate that? Guys, it's going to be very, very, very challenging here. So, in terms of the managers and their records, let's take a look at Jurgen Klopp here. 14 games against Palace, 12 wins, 2 losses. Patrick Vieira against Liverpool, 2 wins, 2 losses. Liverpool did a league double over Crystal Palace last season, of course. So, they need to turn their fortunes around and they need to do it fast, or else it's going to be no points in the first available 6. But we know Palace are a capable team, but I don't know. I really don't know. I honestly don't know if they could do it. You know what I'm saying? I said that about Fulham last week as well, and they did something. So, and I don't want to actually instill doubt and fear in the Liverpool fans, but I am instilling some doubt and fear in the Liverpool fans. So, in terms of the transfer dealings and the latest in terms of updates, Harvey Elliott just signed a new 5-year deal with Liverpool. So, the young man, I think he's only still 19. He's looking to lock down his future as a Liverpool player. In terms of Liverpool and the rumors, they've been linked to Sporting midfielder Mateus Nunes, who was linked with a move to Manchester City as well, which means he's a quality midfielder. And I think Liverpool could deal with some more quality in their midfield, where Thiago has been very, fragile these days. He's injured. You know what I mean? He's been good, but he didn't start off well the first season, and then he pulled things back, and now he's injured again. And who knows what will happen to him when he comes back from injury. So, look, I have a flashback, a throwback transfer here for you guys. Back in 1977, almost approximately 45 years ago, Liverpool signed Kenny Dalglish from Celtic for a British fee, record fee of £440,000. And that was actually a record, right? Which means that Liverpool have been splashing the cash for quite some time. But the Liverpool fans like to come out and say that they don't splash the cash, but they actually do splash. They've been doing it since God knows when. Okay? And whenever I talk about splash, I remember that very good song by Garnet Silk, the late Garnet Silk reggae artist, and he said, "Splashing, dashing, restless seas." And then you think about Kenny Dalglish, you know what I'm saying? Kenny Dalglish, splashing, dashing, restless seas, What do you guys think about my rhyme in there? Not good? Dry? But I'm only messing with you guys. But I just thought I put that in though, because that's some very, very good information there, where Kenny Dalglish obviously went on to be a Liverpool legend, a legendary player, legendary manager. He became player coach and won the title as well as player coach. So, you know, shout out to Kenny Dalglish, man. Sir Kenny Dalglish, I should say. So, in terms of Crystal Palace, Jesurun Raksaki was loaned to Charlton Athletic, and Palace are actually pursuing former RB Leipzig midfielder Ile Moriba, or I should say former Barcelona midfielder Ile Moriba. So, in terms of player availability, guys, and injuries and all the updates for that, for Liverpool, Thiago would be out until sometime in September. Curtis Jones remains out. Diego Jota out. He'll be fit very soon. Quivin Kelleher, Oxlade Chamberlain, and Mr. Ibrahima Konate remain out, while Naby Keita and Constantino Simikas are getting close to full fitness. For Crystal Palace, Nathan Ferguson, Jack Butland, James McCarter, Michael Olise, and James Tompkins remain on the treatment table. Players to watch, guys, for Liverpool, Darwin Núñez. When he came off the bench against Fulham, he changed the game. And I do expect him to start this game ahead of Roberto Firmino. If he does not start ahead of Firmino, I think Liverpool might end up dropping points in this game because, look, you need that impact from the get go. And Darwin Núñez definitely provides that. For, look, for Crystal Palace, I don't mean to be boring, but it has to be Wilfried Zaha. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be interesting to see how Trent Alexander Arnold manages Wilfried Zaha, where last week Ben White managed him. Ben White just, manhandled Wilfried Zaha. So if Trent isn't able to manage Zaha over on the left wing, Crystal Palace could cause some damage there. So let's keep an eye on that battle as well. Keep an eye on how Van Dijk will deal with the likes of Jean-Philippe Mateta and Hudson Edward and co. And let's see if Liverpool will continue dominating the fixture against Crystal Palace. Look, my prediction, I don't see nothing else but a Liverpool win. This time around, I'm going for 3-1, convincing Liverpool to give up a goal. But for their sake, they would, hoping that they get a clean sheet. Because, look, Alisson and Edison in the Golden Glove race again this season. Edison will be 2 up, in my opinion. So 3-1 to Liverpool. Expect them to bounce back from that draw, increase the intensity, get back to their pressing game, and just be a lot more clinical than they were against Fulham. They have to improve because let me say this right now. I did predict Liverpool to win the title this season. I don't know why I came up with that prediction. When I say that, I know why, but I'm like, it might be strange to some people that I came up with that because they might be like, yo, damn, whoa, you know what I'm saying? But I don't get why people think because like I'm a City fan and people think I have to predict City. Some people say, whoa, I thought you would have predict City to win the title. So what about Liverpool who only came in second by 1 point last season? You see what I'm saying? But I just have a feeling. But if Liverpool start the season off with 2 points or 1 point in the first 2 games and City got 6, I don't know. That's not a good way to start at all. 3-1 though. 3-1. Palace to put up a little fight, but Liverpool to steamroll them in the end. 3-1 victory for the Reds. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the chat, in the comments. Let me know your prediction for this one. In terms of Liverpool and their next game, after their first home match against Crystal Palace, they will face Manchester United at the Theatre of Nightmares. And for an early prediction, guys, we know last season Liverpool defeated United, I think, about 9-1 or 9-0 on aggregate or something like that. Like, expect something ugly. Just put it out there. Let's put it out there. And again, if Liverpool don't get anything from that game or just pick up a point, it won't be the best of starts, in my opinion. So for Crystal Palace, their next game will be a match against Aston Villa, who I think would be an easier opponent than Liverpool. So, guys, that's my thoughts on the game. Let me know yours in the chat. So, yeah, not bad, right? Not bad. Our 53 minutes, guys. Our 53 minutes. Jordan coming in with 3-0. Philip Bidwell 3-0. Salah or Nunez. I didn't even mention Mo Salah's name, but don't need to be name dropping all the time. But you know what I mean? Nunez is the man to watch for real. But Liverpool to bounce back, in my opinion. Big up to the boy Paloma in the house, coming in with a 3-1 prediction. And who else we got here? The awesome Bailey, Kostic to Juventus. Yeah. Juventus been making some nice. I like the signings. Kostic, Leandro Paredes. I don't know if they'll be impactful. I just like them. I really like them. Big up to DeAndre Small in the house as well. Who else is in here? Talk to me, guys. Talk to me. What else we got? Guys, what we're going to do really, really quick, right? Since I've already wrapped up the Premier League predictions this season, this week, this week, I'm actually going to take a look at what the Carabao Cup draw looks like. It might be a lot of games, but I actually want to react to the Carabao Cup draw. So I'm going to go into that right about now. I'm gonna switch the tab and pick the Carabao Cup and react to the draw that was made. The first round draw, I think, or the second. I think it's the first round draw. So let's do that though. Let us do that. We have some results as well to look at in terms of the Carabao Cup. So remember, Liverpool are the holders of the Carabao Cup. Man City were the kings of the cup, but of course, Liverpool are the new holders, where they did win the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup last season. So let's just click the EFL Cup and let's take a look at what we have so far in the competition this season. So the first round, let's take a look at the first round that started on August 2nd, where Cambridge defeated Millwall a goal to nil. I'm pretty sure these teams play in different divisions. I might be wrong, but I'm not going to get too deep into that right about now. Shrewsbury defeated Carlisle 3-2. And Barrow and Blackpool played to a 0-0 draw, where Barrow picked up a 4-3 win on penalties. You guys can remember Barrow doing well last season in one of these competitions, and they, I think, are still a non-league team. So big up to Barrow. Accrington Stanley 2, Tranmere Rovers 2, 12-11 on penalties for Tranmere Rovers, which means that it went all the way down to the goalkeepers and back around. So, wow, that must have been, a sight to behold. Very, very entertaining stuff. Gillingham 2, Wimbledon 0. Wickham 2, Northampton Town 1. Oxford United 2, the U's, Swansea City 2, Oxford 5-3 in the penalty shootout. Rochdale 2, Burton Albion 0. We go down. Exeter City 7, Cheltenham Town 0. I could remember Man City playing Cheltenham Town recently as well. But wow, what a whopping victory though. 7-0. Let's actually click this and see if there's a hat trick in there. So a lot of goal scorers, no hat tricks, but a lot of goal scorers. And we're going to leave it right there and go back to reacting to these first round results. Charlton 1, QPR 1, 5-3 in the penalty shootout for Charlton. Morecambe 0, Stoke City 0, 5-3 in the penalty shootout there for Morecambe. That's somewhat of an upset for sure. And, Morecambe move on, Stoke out. Derby County 2, Mansfield Town 1. Remember Derby County relegated? Think they are playing in League One these days. And let's take a look at Derby County. You know what I'm saying? Look at the lineup. And of course, Wayne Rooney is no longer in charge. Didn't Wayne Rooney move to the MLS? I that's the last thing I saw of Wayne Rooney. But there's a coach by the name of Rose Noir in charge these days. Don't know the man at all. Want to keep it real. But yeah, Derby County. For a second I forgot Wayne Rooney left the club. I actually thought Wayne Rooney was still in charge. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember I saw the news that he left. So Bradford City 2, Hull City 1. Definitely an upset there. Crawley Town 1, Bristol Rovers 0. Preston 4, Huddersfield Town 1, Colchester 1, Ipswich 0. Grimsby 4, Crewe Alexandra 0. Bolton 5, Salford City 1. What a big victory for Bolton Wanderers. Remember, they used to be a Premier League team and they're in the lower leagues these days. Norwich 2, Birmingham 2, 4-2 in the penalty shootout for Norwich City. Harrogate Town 0, Stockport 1 in the non-league tie there, and Stockport move on. Doncaster 0, Lincoln City 3. Luton 2, Newport County 3. MK Dons 1, Sutton United 0. Forest Green Rovers 2, Leyton Orient 0. Fleetwood 1, Wigan 0. Cardiff 0, Portsmouth 3. Walsall 2, Swindon Town 0. We have Stevenage defeating Reading 2-1. Bristol City 4, Coventry 1. That was yesterday. Blackburn Rovers 4, Hartlepool 0. Hartlepool did well in FA Cup or EFL Cup recently. Yeah, I can't remember the competition, but Peterborough 2, Plymouth Argyle 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2, Sunderland 0. We had Rotherham 2, Port Vale 1, Barnsley 1, Middlesbrough 0, and we had West Brom defeating Sheffield United a goal to nil, and that was actually today. So the second round draw came out, and this is what the draw looks like, guys. Fleetwood Town would come up against Everton. And guys, we will have a few giant killings. Just make sure you guys, make note of that. Not because Everton are a Premier League team, they're gonna go through. We're gonna see some upsets here. Bolton against Aston Villa, that's another good one. Crawley Town against Fulham. Watford coming up against MK Dons. Newport County against Portsmouth. Colchester against Brentford. Forest Green drew Brighton and Hove Albion. Wickham Wanderers coming up against Bristol City. Grimsby Town against Nottingham Forest. Leeds United versus Barnsley. Stockport versus Leicester City. That should be a good one. Cambridge United versus Southampton. Wolves versus Preston. Norwich coming up against Bournemouth. Walsall play Charlton. Oxford United, Crystal Palace. Shrewsbury against the newly relegated Burnley. Rotherham play Morecambe. Barrow come up against Lincoln City. Tranmere play Newcastle United. Sheffield Wednesday play Rochdale. Bradford City come up against Blackburn Rovers. Stevenage, Peterborough. And we have Gillingham against Exeter City. And we have Derby County against to be decided here. So I think one of these ties must not have let me see. Yeah, I don't know who they're gonna play, but let's wait and see there. So the bigger teams are not in the competition yet, of course, guys. Teams like Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Spurs, Man City. Haven't seen any of those teams there. So Arsenal. So those teams are gonna come in the rounds to follow. So that's my prediction for not my prediction, my reaction for the second round of the Carabao Cup this season. And August the 23rd, I might actually do some predictions for these. I might do a quick little, research on these teams and drop a prediction video. Nothing's promised though, but I might actually do that. So, guys, I think that's it for today's live stream. 2 hours, not bad at all. I think I did pretty well, and I finished the preview on the 2 hours, which is good. And next week, who knows, man? I might just do a lot better. So let me just go back full circle. Let me go back full circle to my whole Premier League setup, and let's just go all the way back to the Premier League, back to the homepage, and we're gonna land the plane. So, guys, thank you very much once again for tuning in to yet another one. It's 10:57 local time. I'm about to be out of here. I had a very long day. I wish I could continue talking with you guys for the rest of the night and do like a marathon stream, but not today though. Not today. I think 2 hours is good enough. And I spent my entire evening working on this stream, as I mentioned early on. So if you're watching a replay and you gotten this far, smash a like. Guys, don't forget also, if you're watching a replay, you could also help the channel out by dropping a super thanks as well. Don't forget that in the comments where you could, donate to the channel as well. And just continue to support the channel in which way you can. Comment, like, share, any which way you can. It does help to support the channel. Guys, thanks for the turnout. We did good again. We had close to 100 people in the stream tonight, and we're going to continue just building the momentum throughout the season and towards the 2022 FIFA World Cup, man. So, look, thanks again for tuning in. And from your boy Dom, until Monday for the watch along for Liverpool Crystal Palace and the review that's coming up after that watch along, it's going to be, maybe a 1 hour review. If I have, if I have the energy, I'll go longer, but it won't be a super long review though. So, look, once again, thanks again for tuning in. Until next time, peace out. Rich. score. Peace.